Good morning students. Today also we will learn class 9 chemistry chapter number 4, that is structure of atom. Yes. So in our previous lecture we have learned about atom, structure of atom. So in that we have seen how is an atom. So how is an atom? Atom is a basic unit of any matter. It is a basic unit of any matter. And inside the atom, there is a presence of dense central nucleus, which is surrounded by negatively charged electron cloud, Yes, so and inside that nucleus, positrons are present, means protons are present, which are having positive charge. Again, neutrons are present inside that nucleus, protons and neutrons are present, and in that protons are positively charged and neutrons are neutral in charge and electrons are having negative charge, that we have seen. And protons and electrons, they are equal in magnitude, that also we have seen, and they neutralize each other effect inside the atom. As they are equal in magnitude, they neutralize each other effect, and so that initial charge of an atom is neutral. It is not having any charge. Okay. So the structure of atom is there. Atom is having central nucleus, and inside that nucleus protons and neutrons are present, and then around that electrons are revolving around that nucleus in their discrete energy levels. That is the structure of atom. Okay. So this structure of atom, what we have seen, it is having history. Up to we got that structure of atom, what we are seeing nowadays, what we are studying nowadays, it is having very big history. So this history of atom we will discuss here. So at first, Maharshi Kanad, he found that every matter is having very tiniest particle. It is as a building block of that matter, and he named that tiniest particle as a Parmanu. Then the Greek philosopher named that Parmanu as atom. Okay, he named that tiniest particle as atom. Then in 1805, John Dalton studied on that atom, and he derived one theory, atomic theory. It's very important and very famous, and in that he mentioned that atom is the tiniest particle. Again, it is indivisible. Again the atom is indivisible. Yes, but later on, many scientists studied on that Dalton's theory, and by the various experiment, they found that atom is not an indivisible particle. Rather than it is a divisible, because atom is having subparticles inside it. It is having subparticles as negatively charged electrons, positively charged protons and neutrons. By the further experiment, the scientists had found that. So in that, first scientist in 1850, M. Faraday, did one experiment with electric current. By the time electric current was discovered, and by applying that electric current, he performed one experiment of cathode rays. And in that experiment of cathode ray, he observed negatively charged particles flowing towards the anode through the vacuum channel. Okay. So this is a device what he used in his cathode ray experiment. In that we can see one device is here. Here voltage is given, high voltage is given to that, and that vacuum space is here, and here pressure is maintained low pressure is maintained here, and again cathode and anode is present. Cathode is having negatively charged plate and anode is having positively charged plate. And when the high voltage is applied to that cathode, from that cathode negatively charged flowing towards the anode, and these negatively charged particles are flowing towards the anode, and that path of negatively charged is straight towards the anode when only electric field is applied here. But when he applied magnetic field, what happened? As north pole is having positively charged, so that this path, this flow of particle is deviated towards the north pole. It deviated towards the north pole. It is not deviated towards the south pole as it is having negatively charged, but they deviated towards the north pole, so that he proved that the flow of that particles are negatively charged. It is having negatively charged. Yes. So it is a cathode ray experiment, very important and very famous experiment by M. Faraday, and from this he had discovered negatively charged particle, but he didn't give name electrons. Later on, that negatively charged particles called electrons. That negatively charged particles called electron. And what is the current? Current is nothing but the flow of electron. That is also proved here. Means atom is having subparticle. That also we proved here, because electrons are discovered here. So that atom is having electron inside it. Again, the second experiment, canal ray experiment, very well known experiment is that it is performed by Goldstein in 1886. In 1886, after 1850, Goldstein performed one experiment with the anode ray. Yes. So what he applied, only slightly changes here. Some changes here. Here. One perforated cathode he is applied here. Perforated cathode plate means instead of this he applied perforated cathode. Yes. Means holes are present on that plate here, and the situation is different. It is not cathode, it is anode. It is anode, and anode is positively charged. Yes. And this is cathode. This is perforated. Perforated means porous plate of cathode. He applied porous plate of cathode. Yes, it is negatively charged. It is negatively charged cathode. Yes. So, here electric voltage is applied, and what he observed, from that cathode some rays are emitted. Some rays are, particles are emitted, and they went towards the, they are moving towards the, yes, they were moving towards the anode. Yes, negatively charged particles were moving towards the anode, and simultaneously the positively charged particles also, they are moving backward opposite to direction of that negatively charged particles. Means that positively charged particles were moving opposite to that negatively charged particles that he observed in the experiment, and here he observed luminous red light, and it is due to positively charged particles that were flowing at the opposite side, at the backward direction to that anode. Yes, to that anode, backward direction of that anode, means backward direction of that negatively charged particles. So, by this experiment, it is called as channel ray experiment. Why canal ray experiment? Why it is called as canal ray experiment? Because these particles, these positively charged particles and these negatively charged particles are also passed through the canals of that perforated cathode plate. Here holes are present. Through that canal, that ray is passed, that particles are passed, so that experiment is known as canal ray experiment. And this flow of particle is from anode. That's why this ray is known as anode ray. It is from anode. These particles are from anode. From that anode direction, the particles, positively charged particles, are flowing here. And by this experiment, he came to know when he applied magnetic field. When he applied magnetic field, what happened? That positively charged particles deviated. They deviated towards the south pole. They deviated towards the south pole, which is negatively charged. That's why it is proved that the particles which are flowing opposite in direction of that negatively charged particle, they are definitely having positive charge. They are carrying definitely positive charge on it. Yes, as they deviated towards the south pole and this charge deviated towards the north pole. समझ में आया? मतलब ये जो पार्टिकल्स है ये कैथोड रे से निकले हुए निगेटिवली चार्ज पार्टिकल नॉर्थ पोल की तरफ अट्रैक्ट हुए, पॉजिटिव की तरफ अट्रैक्ट हुए, और ये पॉजिटिवली चार्ज पार्टिकल साउथ पोल मतलब निगेटिव की तरफ अट्रैक्ट हुए. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज प्रूव्ड दैट दिस कैनल रे is nothing but the flow of proton, and thus the protons are discovered, and also it is proved that these protons are 2000 times heavier than the electrons. These are negatively charged particles. Okay, so thus we got positively charged particle, proton also here. Then after that J.J. Thomson had given its atomic model. Yes, J.J. Thomson had given its atomic model. Which model he has given? Like this model. It is like a slice of watermelon or slice of cake pudding. Inside the cake pudding means this is the size of watermelon, and that is positively charged positively charged influence throughout the slice, throughout that structure, throughout that atomic structure. Positively charged influence is spread all over the atom, and inside that negatively charged electrons are penetrated. These are penetrated inside that positively charged influence. Like that, inside the watermelon, this red portion is like a positively charged influence, and that seeds, black seeds, these are like a negatively charged electrons. These are penetrated inside that red juicy part of watermelon. Yes, and in cake pudding also, Christmas cake pudding you must have seen anywhere. So in that pudding, these dry fruits, pieces of dry fruits are penetrated. So these are like the negatively charged, penetrated inside the positively charged influence. So this structure of atom had given by J.J. Thomson in 1897. So that here one basic structure of atom we got, means structure of atom may be like that. So that structure is failure. J.J. Johnson's atomic structure is failure. Still it is a milestone. It is very important for the further study. And then after that, Rutherford in 1909 did one very important experiment. By the time there was a discovery of radioactive elements and radioactive radiations. Then he used that and he did one experiment with thin sheet of gold foil, and by his experiment of thin sheet of gold foil, he had given one atomic structure. Rutherford's atomic structure is like that. Nucleus at the center of atom, and electrons are randomly revolving around that nucleus, and there is a much vacuum present inside the atom. Yes, according to Thomson, there was no any vacuum place. All our atom is having positively charged influence and negative electrons are penetrated inside it. But by the Rutherford experiment, it is proved that atomic structure is like that. Nucleus is present at the center of atom. Nucleus is present at the center of atom, and that nucleus is having positively charged. That nucleus is having very dense positively charged, and electrons are revolving around it. But he didn't give the discrete energy level for the revolution of electron. Yes, only he found that electrons are moving around the nucleus, and this structure was given by Rutherford in 1909. That structure was also very important because nucleus was discovered here, and electrons are revolving around that, and very much vacuum place is present inside atom. That three things are very important that are discovered. And after that, Chadwick in 1932, Chadwick discovered neutrons. Yes, he discovered neutrons which is having no charge. These particles are having no charge on it. That he found through the experiment, because helium is having atomic mass 4, but only 2 protons are present inside the nucleus, but the mass of helium is 4 unit. Still the 2 protons are present, the mass of helium is 2 unit, so that he conclude that there must be another neutral charge particle present inside the nucleus, and that neutral charge particles are nothing but neutrons. So that Chadwick in 1932 later on discovered the neutrons. Now we got all the 3 particles that are positron, positively charged proton, negatively charged electrons, and neutrons, neutral charge neutrons. Means all that 3 particles are discovered. And then Neil Bohr had given atomic structure which we are studying nowadays. That structure he had given. So Neil Bohr had given the atomic structure, and according to that structure, electrons are revolving around the nucleus along their discrete energy levels. So this was the history. And how was the structure of Neil Bohr? Nucleus. Inside the nucleus, protons and neutrons are present, and then electrons are revolving around the nucleus along their discrete energy levels. Here electrons are revolving around their discrete energy level, and Neil Bohr had given the name to that energy level K, L, M and N. Again and also he had given name, and so on. And these energy levels are having definite energy. That's why the electrons revolve around the nucleus in their energy levels, like planets are revolving in our planetary system. Okay. So this final structure of atom we got later on. Yes. And this structure given by Neil Bohr, it is very important. That is nucleus, and around that discrete energy levels are present. Up to 4 energy levels we have to study in that chapter. It is proton and neutron, then K, L, M and N. These energy levels are present. And electrons are moving on that. And whatever electrons are present in the atom, that electrons are distributed according to Bohr's rule, according to Bohr's law. Okay. So that we will see in detail in this chapter. So this was the history of structure of atom. This was the history of structure of atom that we have to learn in this chapter. Okay. So, I hope you understood that. Yes, again I am telling, read all this topic from your textbook, NCERT textbook. Okay. So, that structure of atom we will learn, and here one thing is very important, that atom is having nucleus and it is having positron and neutron again, and this positron and that electron are equal in magnitude and they neutralize each other charge, and protons are heavier than electron. How much time? 2000 times by 2000 times. These are heavier than electron by 2000 times. That things are very important. Okay. So, I hope you understood. Yes. Thank you.